Hello everyone, Zappy here, back again with Fade Zero. We are on episode 10 of season 1, and in the last episode we had some interesting story progression with Kenneth. He is unable to use magic. His sort of magical circuitry has basically short-circuited, and he's unable to use magic at all, ever again. His only way out is via winning the Holy Grail War and having that as his wish, which basically means, you know, he would have been better off just not doing the Holy Grail War thing to begin with. We've got some cool things. We've got a cool look at Diamondweed's past and his sort of legend. That was cool. So yeah, the Kenneth command spells and whatnot have been passed on to Sola. She's taken over. She's got her own agenda. I'm thoroughly convinced she's in it for herself. And yeah, and Waver, by sort of testing different water samples along the river, determined exactly where Castor's sort of base was. Got there, a whole lot of dead kids, of course, and Ryder found some assassins. So now they're aware that the assassins and whatnot are still around. I think it's only him, Tokiomi obviously, Kirie and Emiya that are aware. Kenneth, Castor and whatnot, even though, I mean, they didn't turn up to that whole thing between Archer and Assassin anyway, so they don't really, they don't really care. So yeah, you got them two and Carrier as well. Them three are still unaware, I believe. So yeah, I believe that's all we really need to talk about. So we're going to get in episode 10, see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 10. Right, that was a very sort of a side episode. Obviously, it was focused around the kid, Rin. But I like it because this was something that I think is a real. It was the one part of Tokiomi that I was actually wanting to see, because in previous episodes I had said, like, I was wondering if for Tokiomi, I don't know where he stands, and I didn't know like how to feel about him, because all we'd ever saw of him was he was sort of like the, you know, pulling the strings, and letting Kirie do all the work, and there was very little to go off on him. You know what I mean? There was very little personality. He seemed very cold, and having him, I specifically said, like, in a earlier episode, that, you know, is there something maybe that he doesn't care for his family, and that he only cares about power? Because you know, in the opening there's a specific scene involving him where he's looking out a window whilst Aoi and Rin are in the background, and I thought maybe that it was the case that maybe he didn't care for his family and he cared more about this. So it's nice to actually get that sort of side of his character now, because now I feel like I've got a sort of feel on how each of the characters are now. I think Tokiomi was the one that I was like, you know, I'm still unsure about. Now I know that side of him, so I think I've got pretty much everyone pretty much figured out. Again, like, coming back to Kirie, he's probably the one where I'm like, well, I guess it's sort of a toss-up between him and Emiya, but because Emiya's on the side of Saber, it makes me sort of trust him more, you know, and for the fact that we've kind of seen Kirie as the, you know, I mean, well, you know, he's stabbed Iri, and, you know, beat the shit out of Maya and whatnot, and, you know, he seemed very unapologetic when he did it, so therefore I'm more inclined to think that, you know, he's obviously less trustworthy than Emiya. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out later. But yeah, I think I've got a pretty much a good grasp on how each master is now. So So good. She was messing around with magic and sort of mana and whatnot, and trying fixing crystals and sort of expanding them and sort of creating them into different shapes and whatnot, almost sculpting them with magic. And Tokiomi is basically talking about the family creed, the basically elegance and control and composure, and that's kind of what they that's a sort of like how they symbolize themselves. Like that's the kind of family that they are, which sort of goes against the whole Sakura thing. Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, what I was just talking about how me having a grasp on who Tokiomi is, why would he be so willing to give up Sakura then? Because Sakura is his actual daughter, right? I know she looks a bit different, but I think she has the same eyes as Ai, right? Whereas Rin looks more like a father. So I think Sakura's... Yeah, right. You see, that's a thing. I don't know if it's a case of like... Maybe like Kenneth, he's more about that sort of family generation type thing where, he's looking at Rin and she's like, looks like a dad. Whereas Sakura doesn't. Least loved child probably. Like, I don't know if it's something like that. I don't know, because, but then they had this thing of like when the Muto fucking family tells you to do it, you have to do it. I don't know, but it's something to consider because again, it's like I hope they're kind of going to I hope they're going into detail on this in the future and just the reasons why, because I just need to get a better grasp on like where they fall on a good to evil scale. You know what I mean? I think I've got pretty much everyone like sort of in the, if not the perfect sort of like spots or like ranks, I think I've got them pretty much around the correct area in which they really are. But yeah, fuck it. Tokiomi and Kirei are just kind of like it's just up in the air for them. Like I don't know where they sort of fall. But yeah, she received a mana compass, which basically locates any use of mana, and then when it jolts, it means that it's something that she can't handle. So it reads her power as well, like her capability somehow. So that's like a different facet of the ability of that compass then, because it's not just like, it can read the mana output of things around you, but it can sort of determine what you're capable of and how you would fare against the mana that it is that you're holding. I guess if it's like touching you, that's how it reads it. The sort of, because we're in like a sort of like an alternate universe here, and obviously magic is something that plays a big part in this universe, that this kind of stuff, I shouldn't be looking at it as like that's mental, like that kind of technology, because it's magic, so the possibilities are kind of limitless. Fucking carry out to the rescue, man. It's just still looking out for that family. Like, that's the thing as well, is like, I mean, what was it episode, like, it was 5, right? Was it 5 when he turned up on the docks? I think it was, right? And he specifically stated that like he wanted, he specifically, out of all the masters, he doesn't like Tokiomi, right? That has to be down to the fact that he got rid of Sakura, right? And I don't know if like Carrier actually has feelings for I or whatever. Um, I don't know. Or he just, he just has a sort of like affinity with that family. Because I'm just thinking, like, his. The interesting thing is that whilst Karya, seemingly, he does everything for that family. Not Tokiomi though. If he really has something against Tokiomi, I'm guessing he's gonna have no problem killing him. And Ai knows about the war, right? She knows that, only one's gonna be fucking left alive after this, right? So have we been given the detail of how it ends? Like when does it end? Does it end when all masters are dead? Or is it just when all servants are? Because again, I mean, yeah, the whole idea is that servants can be killed. I mean, because I'm just thinking, like, I mean, you've got to think, like, what Karya doing everything for that family, yet, like, Rin is not going to want her father dead, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to think of, like, what place he has with that family, like, why he's so sort of interconnected with them, right? And the only thing I can gather is that he had a thing for Ai, but she ended up going with Tokiomi. So that, and inevitably before this Holy Grail thing even started, before Tokiomi even got rid of Sakura, there would have been some, something that he had against Tokiomi there, like, oh, you sort of stole my woman kind of thing. And then getting rid of Sakura, like, that's, I mean, we know that's the reason why he's doing this in the first place. So that's a big reason why. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm hoping Karya can prioritize the family, and not jeopardize it. As like, I hope that he doesn't I hope it doesn't become a case of him hating Tokiomi more than he loves Ai, Rin, and Sakura, right? I hope that's the case, because yeah, I hope it doesn't become like that. I hope that he'll always love them more than he hates Tokiomi, right? I mean, it's a tough one. Just from the nature of like the sort of the tragic hero, which I've kind of labelled them as in this, because I think it's fairly obvious. Because out of the lot of them, he is the one true, he's like the righteous one. You know what I mean? Still up until this point, he is the only one that is doing this for the sake of another person. As far as I know, the other ones aren't. It hasn't been, that kind of thing hasn't been confirmed yet. We don't know what oh yeah, Tokiomi's in it for the root, whatever the fuck that means. A place out of the universe, a gate, like, whatever. I don't know what that is. Kirei, we don't know yet. Emiya, we don't know yet. We've got like some context in that, like, he has to do this maybe for the fate of the world. There was something like that between him and Iri. Fucking Ryunosuke obviously doesn't fucking care about it. He's not going to do anything righteous, is he? Waver isn't doing it for anyone else. He's doing it for himself. At least as of right now. I mean, we had that whole thing in episode 2 between him and Ryder about, like, Ryder saying, "Oh, that's a stupid thing to go after the Grail for, whatever." So, he might change his thing, that whole thing along the way. But as of right now, what we know, he's doing it for himself. And is that it? Oh, and yeah, and Kenneth. Yeah, I mean, we know that wasn't the case, and now Sola, we know that's not the case as well. So yeah, as of right now, still he is the only one that's done this for the sake of another person. And the fact is that, you know, he's I mean, if you're looking at all of them at face value and just judging by their appearance, you know, Karya is the one that, you know, looks the most evil. And I think that's on purpose. I mean, I feel like Japanese like anime does this a lot. They sort of like to do the opposite, so that you know, you'll have a protagonist be like on the side of like devils and demons, right? As opposed to like, oh, like gods and angels. What was that in again? High School DxD, right? That's what it was, yeah. So this idea, like, you're on like this, you know, it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like the opposite. But yeah, I'm hoping there isn't like a. The problem is the madness thing, right? The incantations, the 2 lines or whatever that they implemented in the summoning of the thing. If that is just something that, you see, the problem is that with what happened in episode 9 between Kenneth and Diarmweed, right, where Kenneth, it's sort of confirmed that they sort of are connected to servants on a more conscious level, that if there is some go-between, that Karya could possibly end up going mad as well. Especially with the shit that he's going through, like all this torment with the fucking, like, it's just nuts. Like, that family is just nuts. How is that? I mean, he said that you know, that family, the Muto family is based around this whole thing about, you know, if you want power, then you've got to fucking, like, you know, let shit eat off your body, essentially. So what about the old guy then? You know, the old dude, what's it, Zanjo or whatever? Has he not had that done to him or whatever? I guess not, because. But then why would he have any power at all? Why would he be able to just demand that Sakura be fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's something I'm definitely missing, and I don't know if it's a case of like, because Fate Zero was sort of done after Stay Night, if there was stuff in Stay Night that was actually, if there was like world building and like, you know, between these families and you know, we got actual information on why this is the case. But you know, at some point we're bound to come across it, right? But yeah, like a nice little sort of side episode. Something to, I mean, well, I was going to say like to take us out of the main like craziness, the shit that was going down, you know. But in the end of the day, it still revolved around Castor and all that shit. I mean, I was fully expecting her to enter the sewer and witness Kotane's death, and then and that would, you know, it would be like her shoe or whatever, you know, the shoe that we saw in episode 9 that had focused on a couple of times. I was like, why do they keep focusing on that shoe? I thought it might have come into play, but nah, it didn't. But yeah, that was episode 10 of Fate, so we'll get back to that next time. But thank you everyone for watching. In the description below I have links to certain things. One is the Discord. Come over, join the community. I'm there as well, so you can come and talk to me if you wish. My website, soymonkeysuit.com, all my content is over there. Get yourself signed up, go on the forum. There's a reaction recommendations page, so you can get your show submitted to that. The top 10 liked posts will be put into a poll, and then the winner of that poll will be the next show that I react to whenever the next poll comes up. Okay, so make sure you get your show on there. And Patreon. So I do have a Patreon. If you do want to support me, that would be very much appreciated. There's a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. Early access, $5 a month. You get access to 4 episodes of Fate and 4 episodes of Psycho-Pass every week. And for the other shows, you get them a week early as well. $10 a month, that's a full length. So you gain access to my full unedited reactions to everything I do. Everything I react to gets a full length. $15 a month, that's the exclusive tier, so for that you gain access to a bonus show which I'm currently reacting to. As of recording, it's Mob Psycho 100, but once this goes out on YouTube for the general public, it'll be something different, so make sure you go over there and check out, see what that is if you're interested. Also, all OVA reactions, all movie reactions go into the exclusive tier as well. $50, that is the elite tier, so that gives you a choice of a show you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It will go behind all the shows already recommended or requested, which is about 7 shows, so it might take me a while to actually get round to it. But if you want to jump the queue and go to the very front, then you want to get God Tier, which is $100, and that means that more shows will be reacted to next. With that, thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.